Hi, my name's Joe Tramontano, and I'm a drummer and percussionist, and I want to talk a little bit about the reverse power dot heads that Evans makes, and it worked wonders with my snare drum. This is actually a 5x14 Tama snare that I actually got with a starter kit that I got really quick for a band that I had just joined, and it really turned out to be very useful, and the heads really surprised the hell out of me. I didn't think that I would really be able to get that kind of sound quality. I had a good buddy of mine, Sean Minardi, who I really send props out to. He's a great drummer, great producer, great singer, you know, and he has a lot of experience. We're around the same age group, and he told me about these heads. And every now and then when I would come out to see him, he would have these heads on his Yamaha kit and looked exactly the same, and he told me great things about them. He was a wealth of information too. He also cleared up a myth about the Remo pinstripe heads, which are good heads. I'm not saying that this is better than that. It really depends on you and what you like. I found out that I really didn't have to tune them that much like I had to do with the pinstripes. And a myth that Sean had cleared up, and I really want to thank you for this, Sean, is the myth about them being dual layered with oil in the middle. And I always believed that that was the case. Everybody told me that, and I had it from him because he actually found out from a rep from Remo who told him that it's really just air pockets. They're great heads. They really are. Don't get me wrong. Again, I'm not putting them down, but I do know that these heads from Evan, they're really, really very good. They really deliver. They have a great sound. And the only other thing that I usually had a pet peeve about is playing on steel drums, like steel snare drums. And aside from the very first kit, which was a cheap start-me-up kit that my uncle got at a junkyard, that was a wood snare drum, which had a crack to it. Metal snare drums usually tend to have more of a resonance, and they tend to be harder for me personally to tune. They always were. And with this particular drum, or with this particular head, I actually found it quite unique. The only other thing I had to do was get these little rings, which everybody usually gets. They're transparent. They're really not relatively expensive. But then there's another trick that Sean told me about, which I really am going to start doing if I actually get the chance, and that's basically when you replace your heads and you have that problem, don't throw out the other head. What you may want to do is just simply cut out a ring from the head so you can actually put it on the head and it'll do the same thing. Who knew? You know? But basically, I also put together a compilation of a couple of combination rolls, 16th notes with a double bass and everything like that, that I actually put with this video to really kind of demonstrate the true sound that you can get out of these. If you really want to get a deep tone, what you may want to do is get what are called hydraulic heads. They're dual layered with oil in the middle, and I do believe that Evans makes them. The other thing that I really, really dig is Aquarian and the special heads they make for the bass drums, which for my drum kit, actually there's an Aquarian head with kind of like a felt styrofoam type of ring that can really, really insulate the sound and give you the best sound that you can out of the bass drum. And considering what I have, it does. It works wonders. The only thing you probably would need to do is probably tape like maybe a bed sheet or a cloth maybe on the ends, depending on what you like. But as far as how good the heads are, well, you see for yourself. Depending on what you like, depending on what you prefer, what your tastes are, I mean, if you really like the hydraulic heads for that deep pitch that you usually got from a lot of older bands from 20, 30 years ago, or if you really want to go for a new cutting-edge sound with the reverse power dot, or even the pinstripe, the Remo pinstripes are just as good as well. It's really up to you and what you like. Don't really get too caught up in doing it correctly, doing it right. It depends on you and what you like. You be the judge, because you're the one that's basically making it happen, okay? These things are just tools that really help you to sound good. It's really up to you to really put it to the test, and it basically has to meet your standards, okay? Not the other way around. Rock on.